Yo, Marcus, low budget wisdom. So, we all have an internal moral compass. We inherently know what is right and what is wrong. We are born with the ability to know what we need to do, right? When the moment comes, we know from right and wrong what is based on integrity, what is based on fear and judgment and hate, right? We know the difference. When we see someone suddenly fall down, we have that instinct to suddenly want to help because we are based on love, not some superficial, oh, I love you, you are my boyfriend, I should love you. Not the logical, explained love, but inherent love. That is what we are born with, right? And so I invite you to look at this. Let's say, try to imagine this person is you, and this is every single person on earth, right? We have an internal moral compass. We are born out of love. We hold love within ourselves for everybody in humanity, for nature, for ourselves. But the problem starts when this becomes us as well. This is also a part of us. And we have a broken internal moral compass because of our logical explanations and the justifications that we put out into the world. Oh, this person is of a certain race, and I don't like this kind of people. I am slightly racist towards certain people with a certain skin color, certain height, certain anything. So we kind of snuff down and we kind of repress our natural ability to love, our natural internal moral compass, and we skew it with our justifications. So, with a broken internal moral compass, we try to justify why we want to hurt this person, or why we don't want to help this person, or why we want to hate this person. It comes from this logical understanding of, oh, we are different. We have different beliefs, even though we may be the same race from a same country, but we have different beliefs. I believe in something else compared to you, and then so that's why I justify myself. I have a justification of why I don't want to help you when I see you going through some troubles, right? Oh, your kind of people hurt my kind of people in the past, and so I want to hate you. But here's the thing, as we justify hatred, as we justify why we treat certain people badly, it causes us a lot of suffering and pain, right? Just think about it. If it makes sense, you can agree with me. If it doesn't, then you can just turn this video off. I'm not forcing anybody to receive whatever I'm trying to put out there, but we cause ourselves suffering and pain, right? The moment when we start to justify why we want to hurt certain people and why certain people don't deserve our love, our unconditional help, our unconditional love, our unconditional care. We don't see them as people. We see them as objects. We see them as people, things that are separate from us just because they have different beliefs, just because they are born with a different skin color, just because they are born of a different nation, and then we justify. And why does this cause us suffering and pain when we try to justify? Because we are going against our own internal moral compass. We are going against our own inherent love that we are born with, right? We have to destroy a part of ourselves in order to justify our actions for treating certain people in a certain way. And by justifying why we treat certain people this way, and that causes us to destroy our internal moral compass. It destroys our feelings of love for humanity and to ourselves. That causes us some form of conflict within our own minds. It is as though our minds and our body and our whole being knows what's the right thing to do, but we screw up our own integrity by going against that feeling. And so these thoughts that come up, thoughts of love and compassion and understanding, it takes energy to go against that flow of love in order to destroy someone's lives, or in order to turn a blind eye instead of helping that person, right? And this causes even more internal conflict within ourselves. And this internal conflict is because we are going against who we are. And so why do we do that? That is a question you have to ask yourself and really try to understand why we have to go against our own internal moral compass, and why do we keep doing this to ourselves. Hurting other people requires us to hurt ourselves first. And okay, so maybe you might think, Marcus, but you see, this person hurt me in the past. Shouldn't it be also, fair that I hurt him this time, or I hurt her this time, because this person hurt me in the past? But we also have to understand, people who hurt others, that person that hurt you, is hurting him or herself. They are hurting themselves. In the sense that they are hurt. They may have been hurt by other people, and this process continues on as a kind of like, oh, someone hurt me before, so now I feel very hurt, and I have a skewed world view, and now I feel justified when I hurt other people, because that is how I have been treated. And then that cycle keeps repeating itself. I hurt you, you hurt another person, that person hurts that person hurts this person hurts me back, and the cycle keeps on continuing over and over and over again, over generations after generations after generations, countries towards countries, and then here and there. It never stops until and unless one of us starts, until and unless we ourselves start to align ourselves with our internal moral compass. And a lot of things in social media is skewed. There is a bias. There is an agenda for social media to push out propaganda to people, to spread hate. And this hate is what helps them drive, their own, the big corporations' own agendas, their own, what they needed to achieve, what they want to achieve in order to make more money, and to gain more power, to control people, control populations, because we cannot control people who have a strong internal compass, and we cannot control people who are aligned with their own moral compass, with their own internal love that they have for the world. We can only control people who are in fear, right? So we have to stop living in fear. We have to stop letting all these hate and negativity in the world spread to us, right? We can make a conscious choice to stop watching news that are aligned with hatred, that are aligned with negativity. We got to stop watching movies that perpetuate hatred, perpetuate fear. Just imagine how much better the world would be if everybody listened to their internal compass, moral compass, right? So what you do unto others is done unto you, and we are doing it to ourselves when we spread hate. We have to get down to the level of hate before we can spread hate. That's why we suffer. That's why so many people are so unhappy and depressed, and because they know what the right thing to do is, but they don't act on that. And I'm not saying you have to, constantly look for things to act upon to align with your own internal moral compass. You don't have to search for things, search for poor people, homeless people to donate your money to. Listen to whatever arises at the moment. Take inspired action. What does that mean? Take inspired action. Inspired action is action that comes as it comes. Inspired action is when you know, oh, I suddenly have this I'm suddenly energized to do a certain thing to help certain people. That is inspired action. Okay, so please have a think about it, what I just said, and pause if you need to kind of like look through this thing, as kind of see if it makes sense to you or not. And thanks for watching, guys. See you guys in the next one. Bye.